This is Andrea Case. As greeter coordinators, Jen Fizette and I have put together this video to orient you to our new and established procedures for greeting at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent. We hope you find everything you need to complete all of the greeter tasks. We greatly appreciate your willingness to create a welcoming environment for our guests, whoever they are, wherever they come from, and whomever they love.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be a greeter and an usher for us here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent. This is one of the very most important opportunities for service that we have available because it is truly the first impression that people have when they walk into the church. You're one of the very first people that they meet after seeing the building, and so having an opportunity to interact with someone who can offer a warm smile, a friendly greeting, be available to make conversation, answer questions, can make all the difference in someone's experience here at the church. The people who study this kind of thing say that most people who come to a church for the first time make up their mind about whether or not they will return in the first 6 minutes. We get 6 minutes to make a positive impression. And so much of that has to do with how it feels here, because the reality is that almost everyone who visits us has already researched us online. They've listened to sermons, they've read about Unitarian Universalism, and they kind of know what to expect when they get here in terms of the theology that will be offered, the structure of our services. What they don't know is how it feels. And the greeters are a big part of establishing that sense of friendliness and warmth that we're hoping to convey. So thank you for being part of that. We're so glad to have your contributions. And if you ever have any comments or questions about your experience being a greeter, I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. Thank you so much.
So the first thing when you are a greeter, first we ask that you get here 20 to 30 minutes before the service actually starts. So 9:15, 9:20 for 9:45, and about 11:10 went for 11:30. When you come and you'll situate yourself with the other greeters, one of the first tasks you're going to figure out is which task everybody's going to do. And something that's really important is the baskets that we use, and this is what we use to collect the offertory. You want to make sure that in each basket we have these special welcoming candles, and these candles are for somebody that is here for the first time because we want to welcome them. We usually like to have at least 2 in each of the baskets. If there are not at least 2 in each of the baskets, down here at the bottom drawer there is a box that usually has any. If you're getting to the last 1 or 2, then please notify myself, Andrew, or Mary Beth, so that we can certainly get more that is made. Then what you'll do is you'll take the basket into the sanctuary, you'll just place it down wherever it is that you're sitting and waiting until you're called for the offertory. So that's one thing. Another thing underneath where the baskets are the large print for the songs. And so those that are either visually impaired or are older, need something that's a little bit larger print, we get these for them to replace the books that are in there. In this desk, this is like the special desk that holds everything that we need. There are envelopes in the pews. One is for simple gifts. Another is if anybody just wants to put money or a check or anything like that, they can put it in these envelopes. We just want to make sure that there are some of each in every pew that's in there. So that's something you just want to try to do a quick go through at least before or at the end of service. And the visitor's card. So that's somebody that is new, they're here for the first time, and they want to fill this information out so they can get on the mailing lists, and so that Mary Beth can also make sure that Claudia gets information for new UU classes, and so that they just, again, that's all part of the whole welcoming package, that they fill this out, and they can either put it in the offertory basket or they can give it to one of the greeters or ushers for the day. In the third drawer is this plastic bin. It says collection supplies, and this is the envelope that you want to grab where you're going to put the offertory in. And so you want to make sure that you're grabbing the correct one. So it should say like second collection for the second service, or it'll say for the first service. Once a month, we always have a special collection. So there are certain envelopes in here that says special collection, second service. So you just want to make sure that you get the appropriate envelope to put everything in. The other thing you also want to grab is this little sheet. And this is just marks down the collection of what you'll do, from how many people are actually at the service, how much money that you collect, the checks, and also the envelopes that I just showed you. So you want to grab one of these and the appropriate envelope. Usually we just put it right into the basket so it's all there. There are pens that are in the pews that you can use. So you want to do this right when you first get here, so before people start coming in, because obviously you'll be doing your other tasks. And so this is the desk where you will really get a majority of the materials that you need to greet for your service.
Okay, this is the visitors table, and we ask that every week one of the greeters be dedicated to spending time at the visitors table both before and after service. If you remember, when Melissa welcomes everyone in the congregation, she says someone from the membership committee will meet you at the end of the service, and that's the greeter that's assigned to be at the visitors table. This is the place where people who are coming here for the first time can get information about both the life and work of this particular church, but also some information about Unitarian Universalism, coming from different faiths, or finding out the history of UUs. There's all sorts of information that they can use to try to better understand whether this might be a place that for them. So welcoming a new visitor, welcoming them to this table and offering some of this information is a really important thing for making them feel at home and that they're wanted here. We have special name tags, these sticker name tags for people who are here for the first time, and we do ask everyone to wear a name tag, including the current members. But these are for visitors. There should be plenty, and if there aren't, again, let me or Jen or Mary Beth know that we need more sticker name tags. This is a sign-up sheet for people who want to have a permanent name tag. And all they have to do is have people sign their name, and once the name tag is made, then there'll be a check mark, and it should be sitting over here. When people come again to pick up their name tag, then what they'll do is they'll wear it, and then they'll bring it back over to the appropriate place over alphabetized here. Just as you go through and as people come in, please encourage them to wear their name tags. That is another element that will make visitors feel welcome, as if they can address people by their first names, talk to them with their name tag. So this is an important practice that especially the membership committee is interested in having people make a habit of. You don't need to worry too much about where people put their name tags, but this is here to remind people, please wear your name tag as you come in. One thing about the name tags is that this is just a timely thing, we're running out of these little sleeves, and they're actually quite expensive, and so we have this little stash down here, and this might come up in the next little while. Mary Beth will every so often leave just the paper over here for the name tag, right? And she did this a couple weeks ago because we ran out of sleeves. So there's a box here of name tags of people who haven't been here in a long while. And so all you need to do is, if you find yourself with a piece of paper and you need to give someone a name tag, just fish out one of these, take the sleeve, put this new one into the sleeve, and then they'll be able to wear their name tag. The other thing about this box is if someone comes and says that they should have a name tag but they just haven't been here in a long time, check this box and see if it's in there, and if not, then you can write their name on the sheet to get a new one. Okay. Please, if you're assigned to the visitors table, try to make sure that there are plenty of pamphlets. Okay, everything should kind of be in a spot, and if something needs to be replenished, there are some pamphlets, again, hidden under the table. So there's a box of pamphlets here. Okay? If they all run out, then just let me know and I can order some more. But when in doubt, check under the curtain because there's stuff stashed under here. We would ideally like someone to work at the visitors table if they've been a member for a long time and they know enough about the activities that are going on in the church. They know about the governance. They know who to refer someone to if they have a particular question. They know about protocol. So this should be someone who's very comfortable describing all the different elements and activities of what's going on at the church, rather than somebody who's pretty new. So we're going to ask that you commit yourselves to this if you feel comfortable doing that. But again, a really important message is that right after the service ends, if this is your assignment, please make sure you come back to meet the visitors here at the table. Okay, in the same way that we have large print hymnals and large print orders of service for people who are visually impaired, we also are able to accommodate people who are hearing impaired. At each service, you may have noticed that there's someone here working the soundboard and dealing with the microphones and the speakers, and they are able to supply a listening device and a pair of headphones for anyone that needs them during the service. So if you come across someone who either asks you for this or you think might need some assistance, you can come and send them over to the soundboard operator and they'll be able to get them a device for them to help listen to the service.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Morning, God. Morning, Sandy. Yeah, because that is the extent. Sorry.
No, you're fine. When service starts, our greeters organize to make sure that they're here for late arrivals. So in the summer, there's a door on the opposite end that somebody is greeting there. Patty right now is filling in, making sure people have order of services because we actually ran out. And then Bonnie is standing over at the double doors. The greeter that's taking care of the door stands there until the chime, which we just heard, is hit by Hal or whoever's leading music for that day. We then close the doors so that any latecomers will stand out until the first hymn. After the first hymn, then we open the doors and let others come in.
One way to accommodate latecomers is to allow them to hear what's going on in the service during the call to worship while the doors are closed. Make sure that you can hear the service going on through the speakers in the Founders Lounge. Here's how to turn it on.
Showing us how we can hear from inside. So what do we have to press?
You just scroll the
Volume. Okay.
I don't even know what I would tell myself from 3 months
And now we
ago.
can hear what's going on in service.
Yeah.
In 3rd grade.
And now that is first hymn. We are opening the door to let the latecomers coming on in. Bonnie has also turned the sign for the other late greeters, flipping it on over.
Another important job for the greeters is to be an usher and make sure that everyone has a reasonably easy time finding a place to sit. The other is finding them a place to sit where there's minimum disturbance coming in and out. Okay, so we already talked a little bit about latecomers and coming in. Another element that you need to be aware of is that the seats between these signs here, we have reserved for parents with young children, as particularly the ones that have children in the nursery. And that's simply so that they can duck in and out if they need to attend to their children without causing too much of a disruption to everyone else. If you see someone sitting here, that you know, for example, I've seen someone here that I know doesn't have a child in the nursery, but maybe didn't realize that they were sitting here. Just very kindly ask them, would you mind saving these seats for people who have young children in the nursery? This is a convenient place for them to sit. Could you maybe sit over here? And so that's something to really keep an eye on, so that there's plenty of seating for parents.
So on some Sundays, for example, Music Sunday, Easter Sunday, Youth Sunday at the end in May, we have a lot of families that come. So we have a lot of people trying to fit within this very small space. When that happens, and of course people usually have certain places they like to sit or certain people they like to sit next to, we have to really try to help find seats for people. And there are two things that we need to do. One, we need to look for the spaces that are available and try to get people from the outside to move in to create the spaces for the outside. So when somebody's coming in the door, you see that there are three, you know where you can find a spot for three people because you've already tried to move people around. So that's one thing that you really need to do. And honestly, to do that, you have to be a little bit proactive. Not being pushy, but being a little proactive and assertive and just really nicely asking people if they don't mind to squeeze in. And most people absolutely usually don't mind at all. So it's really important to try to do that so that we can create space for other people. The second thing is that clearly we only have so many pews and so many available seats here, and sometimes we need to bring additional seating. And what we need to do is get some of the folding chairs, and we'll show you where that is in just a moment. But clearly the space where you can apply folding chairs is right in this space. So what you'll do is you will get them and put them all on the outside, behind this pew right here, not too far back because we still need to have a lane where people can walk through, certainly people who have walkers or have canes. The other places that we can set up extra seating is over here on the sides by adding a couple of chairs along each of these rows over here. Once again, still making sure that there's enough space in the middle aisle for people to be able to walk down. So, where do you find the chairs? And somebody that takes on this role, it obviously is a little bit of manual labor, so you have to feel comfortable that you're able to lift things, move quickly, especially moving around a lot of people, being able to unfold the chairs and asking for people to sort of like move out of your way. So again, this whole assertiveness is really important. So come and follow me. We're going to walk on over, and we're going to go where the coat rack is located. So certainly during the winter months where we actually utilize that quite a bit. And you'll see that there is a whole row of folding chairs back here. And so what you'll have to do is you'll just come back here, grab what you can, one or two at a time. If you need to recruit somebody else to help you, go ahead and do that. Bring them into the sanctuary and set them up in the spaces that we just showed you. Bring it back. And then once the service is over, then you want to just, of course, make sure that you fold them all up and then bring them back here. Again, because we want to make sure the sanctuary is in the same space the way that it was before the service started. Service, and first we get all the envelopes together from both baskets, and then we get all the money together and then the check. So there's three different things that we count, and two people are supposed to count each of the baskets after every service. And so what I will do is I will count how many envelopes, and then the second person would. And what we do is on this sheet that's right here, you have the date. And then what we do is we put the total cash, making sure that we agree.
the number of envelopes, that's the envelopes that you get from the pews, and then also the number of checks, and that's the 3 ways that people provide money. And then once we're done with the counting, we make sure that we put our names and we sign it, and then also during the service, we count the number of attendees for that actual service. And this was second service, and so we have the total number there. And then once we're done, we put everything into the envelope. And last but not least, and I'll do a little pretend action here, is once you and the other greeter completes the sheet and has everything in the envelope, you put it in here. I'm going to pretend doing this. What you do is one of you will just take it. There's this mail slot right here. You just make sure that you put it on in, and then of course Mary Beth will collect it that week. So you just want to make sure that this envelope gets in here before you leave and doesn't happen to walk with you at all.